Hello everyone, welcome to my first budget planning video. And this isn't going to be like a budget plan with me because I have just been kind of playing around with the system that I think is going to work best for me and how to best utilize my planner to help me stay on track with my budget basically. So I just really wanted to walk you through my system of how I'm budget planning. I also wanted to share with you what I like about it and anything that I feel like I need to improve. Although, yeah, I'm still kind of new with it. So I'll go ahead and show you what I am using. And these are my real numbers. However, they are just my numbers. I didn't include my husband's income in this because we have kind of a different way of doing our finances. And I actually talked about that in a video not too long ago. It was like how to get on the same page with your spouse about finances. So I'll link that below if that's something that you want to see so you can know all about how we set up our finances, because it's not as simple as all of our money goes into a joint account and that's just what we do. It's not quite that simple, but if you want to know how we put our finances together and what we do, that video would be a great place to start. Feel free to watch that. But so I am just using my numbers. I'm not using his numbers. So these are like my estimated numbers essentially. I think I rounded it. I didn't use exact like cents. So I did use like estimated numbers, but this is how I budget plan. Okay, so if you've been following along with my planner flip throughs, you will know that I have really struggled to use my monthly spread since, I don't know, probably November. I just didn't really know what I wanted to use it for. And now that I'm really focused on budget planning, I feel like a big chunk of my monthly spread is taken up by like bills and that kind of thing. So on here, I have all of my bills laid out, all of my paydays. So you can see our childcare bill came out on the 7th. There's gas here for the car, gas here. I am tracking that because I want to see how much I do actually spend in gas each month so that I can keep it kind of at a reasonable level. We do drive a Prius, so our gas isn't like super expensive, but I do want to keep it. The goal is to be under $40 a month for gas. So there's that. And then this was my big Costco shop, and it's not picking it up very well, but the total there was $240.21. I feel like that was a reasonable amount of, Costco shopping. This here, up here, let's see, I'll show it to you a little bit better. That says house and bills. So basically that's what I transferred into our joint account for my share, or the money that comes out of my check for our mortgage payment, and then a few bills that we kind of pay jointly. So that number, it's kind of a random number this month, went into the joint account so that we could make sure those bills got paid. And this isn't a regular payday, but we recently switched up how we're doing our bills. And so my check went to an account that we were using before. And so it needed to come back. So basically this was when my check landed in my account. This is a payday here. This is a payday here, I believe. I gotta double check on all those things. I had a bill come out here that I made sure to track. And then let's see, this is the heating bill. It was more expensive this month, so I'm gonna try to do better on that. And so far, those are all of the big bills that have come out. And that's how I'm using my monthly spread to kind of help support bills. And so that's like one of my first steps for how I track bills and that kind of thing. The next thing that I've been using and loving, if you guys have not picked up this expense tracker half sheet, I highly recommend it. Like if you are really on your game about wanting to know what you're spending, where you're spending it, that kind of thing, but don't necessarily need something as detailed as like a budget planner or the budget extension pack, for example, this thing is a lifesaver. I might even be able to get away with just using this and the monthly to kind of track things. And I think that would work really well if I wasn't trying to better my budget. Like if I already had a good budget set up, I could just use this. It's a great tool. So here's everything that I have spent so far this month. And yes, there are a large amount of charges at the grocery store. So that is definitely something that I am going to be working on. I feel like this month, and just kind of as a habit, I'll go to the grocery store and just kind of pick things up that look good. I'll stop after work. I'm not necessarily doing a great job with meal planning right now, if I'm 100% honest. So a lot of these things are just kind of little random charges. I've been getting a lot of like pre-prepared stuff and not cooking as much at home. So there is that. Yeah, so I was just kind of reviewing it actually, and I texted Brian this morning and I said, you know what, really kind of kicking myself about all of this stuff that's coming out of my account. So that is that. Let's see what else, other big stuff. There was another transfer to our joint account. I did hit up Starbucks once this month, which is pretty darn good. In the past, I had been there a lot more than once a month, so I feel like I'm doing good there. The Costco shop was a reasonable amount of money. Amazon, so that was Valentine's stuff for Delilah's class. So that was some ovulation kits for me, Harrison's Valentine, and then I think like one other thing. Oh, I got a TENS unit. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's like a back massager thing, and it really helps because I have a bad back occasionally, and so it's really helpful. So that's what I picked up at Amazon. And yeah, that is it as far as my shopping this month. Again, we're only to like the 15th of the month, and I feel like those are some pretty big dollar amounts being spent at the grocery store. So I definitely want to do better next month. So there is that. These are the bills that I'm responsible for paying throughout the month. And some of them are just personal to me. Some of them we split, that kind of thing. So gas for the car, $11.52. This is actually split, and this is just what I paid out of my check. Then this is piano for Delilah. It was a $144. That is the bill that I'm responsible for. This is childcare for both of our kids, and it's at $240 because that is my share of it. Epidemic sound, that's something that I use for music for my YouTube videos. So it's for my stuff. So it comes out of my account, my money. This was the heating bill that I'm responsible for. And then this is another gas for the car that we split out of our different checking accounts. So that is how I'm using the half sheet. Again, I feel like it's working really well. I really like it. Oh, I missed a ring. I feel like it's working really well. It helps me to have like a visual representation of what I'm spending. And I like to keep it in my monthly spread because every time I come in here, I can like write, you know, what I spent for the day. It's almost like balancing a checkbook. So I'll come in here and I'll write down what I spent. And then if there's a bill that needs to be paid, I'll add that to my monthly calendar, that kind of thing. So that is that. Then there's one last step to my budget planning. So behind all of my like main calendar and everything, I have other sections. And one of the sections is from the budget planner. I really like the tab. I think that it stands out and all of that good stuff. So I feel like I can use it every month and it doesn't need to change. So then we come here and you'll notice that you're like, wait, what? That's only part of the budget planner. Yes, you're right. It's definitely only part of the budget planner. So this part I'm going to be doing at the end of the month, the budget review. Where did I have the most trouble? We're going to talk about grocery shopping in here. What could I improve this month? Not grocery shopping as much. And then I want to start saving. I really want to start saving some personal money. So those are big things that I'm going to write in my budget review. But this is how I'm actually budgeting. So this is what it looks like. These are my numbers and this is what we have come up with. This is all stuff that either I'm paying half of or that I'm responsible for alone to pay. So let's see here. This was my actual total income up here and it was just over like $2,300 for the month. I ended up with, let's see, like 1,600, like 1,650. That's kind of, yeah, that's kind of a little messy over there, but that's okay. So 1,650 is kind of what ended up in my account. So that's what I had to work with for this month. And you'll see over here, these are all of my housing things. This is our mortgage payment, our phone bill, electricity, all of this good stuff. And so the total for all of like our housing, everything that I pay is $841 it was projected to be $841. It's about $863. And again, some of this stuff already came out in that first big lump sum. So some of this is already over into the other account. Let's see. Then this is gas. I didn't have any like maintenance that we had to do on the car. I'm not sure how people use some of these other categories. And on here it says fuel as well as gas. I'm not sure why that's a thing, and I'm not sure why they're different. Maybe it's like oil for the car and gas, but I don't know why you would split those. I would probably put oil in like a maintenance category. And then auto, public transportation, maintenance. I don't know why all of these categories exist in transportation. So if anybody knows, let me know, or how you use this category right here. I just thought it was kind of a wonky deal. Insurance, our home insurance comes out of our mortgage payment each month. So that's not something we have to pay like out extra. That just comes as a monthly payment in our mortgage payment. Health insurance, mine actually just comes right out of my check. So it's not, again, not a payment that I have to make. Life insurance, we don't have life insurance necessarily. I know that a lot of people do. And if, I don't know, if you have life insurance, maybe in the comments below, let me know how much you pay, if you're comfortable telling me that, and then sort of why you think it's important. It's just not something that we have prioritized right now, but I've always been kind of curious about why other people prioritize it. So feel free to leave that down in the comments below. Car insurance, my share of it is 64 bucks. So there's that. Groceries, I anticipated only spending about $100 per week, and it ended up being closer to like $300, $350 per week. Oh, that's really, really hard to swallow. I should include that that is per week, but that was my goal and definitely did not happen. Let's see, so medical for the kids, I didn't actually have to spend $50. That's what I had budgeted for. Clothing for the kids, I did end up spending more than this, but it was to stock up for the whole summer. So I'm anticipating that I spent like 4 months worth, but you know, it's all good because I won't have to spend as much later because there was a great sale at Carter's. It was like 70% off. So I was able to get shirts for Harrison for like $4, $3-4 bucks. And I got him sandals and some other pants and stuff. I did need to get him some other clothes because he is officially potty trained and I'm so excited about that. But we did need to get him some other stuff because none of his pants were fitting because he's not wearing a diaper anymore. So they're just really big around the waist. So we had to get him some other stuff, but now he is good to go. Let's see, childcare. Here's our childcare in here. This other stuff didn't really apply. Yeah, so none of that really applied. And then the piano for Delilah. So that's her little extracurricular. That is what we paid. Our property taxes are included in our house payment. So both our home insurance and our property taxes come out of our home payment. So that is all included in everything. Let's see here. Clothing. So this was for Harrison. That should have gone down here. That's what I spent. So it was $102 at Carter's, but we seriously got so much stuff for him. Movies. So this is like our date night budget. So it's about 20 bucks a month and that's totally reasonable. Sometimes there's a month where we don't have a date night or we decide to have a date night in. So we're able to save that and then maybe have like a more extravagant date later. So that is something that we do. We also take out of this like date night account for things that we do as a family that cost. So we call that like family dates basically, but that comes out of that savings as well. Hulu and Netflix are both things that I'm responsible to pay for. Those are two bills that I take care of. This is my student loan payment and it actually comes out of like a trust account that was left to me by my late grandmother. She passed away right before our wedding, but she did leave a good amount of money for all of us grandkids that we could either use towards housing or we could use towards payments towards school. So anything education related or housing, which were two things that were very, very important to my grandmother. So that comes out of there. That doesn't, I just track it to make sure that it's happening. My mom is the one who kind of takes care of everything in the trust. So she has that payment set up. Let's see. And then retirement, my retirement comes automatically out of my check. And then my goal was to save $100 a month. I don't know if that's gonna happen this month, but I'm gonna try really hard to still put $100 in my savings. So we will see if that actually happens. We do have Spotify for music. It's just, I mean, it's really cheap and it's a great way to have music in the car and that kind of thing. TubeBuddy, let's see, that was 19. And then Epidemic, I forgot to write that in here. So we'll just do that together. That's 15. And those are both YouTube things. So you know, my project, so I pay for them. And then I just have subtotals here because we're not at the end of the month, but that is how I'm using this budget planner. I think it tracks things really well. I wish that some of these categories didn't exist and that I could customize it, but I don't know if I want to deal with a printable either. So if you guys use something that's different than this, just for like a month at a glance kind of thing, let me know. If it came from an Etsy shop, you're welcome to link it down below. Feel free to leave me comments with links. I'm totally good with that. Or if you just want to tell me the name of the shop, if there's something that you like. Again, I don't know if I want to deal with something that I print. I don't know if I like all of these categories and I might want to customize it more. So I do have 5 more months of this that I'm going to use, but when I'm done with that, I might do something different. So we'll see. We'll just have to see. I might just have to do some more crossing out. I don't know why, but I hate crossing stuff out. Does anybody else have that problem? I absolutely hate crossing stuff out. That is how I budget plan in my Happy Planner. I hope that this video was helpful to you guys. I am not very good with money and I am really trying to learn how to be better with money. As you can see, I'm a spender. If budgeting is like your jam, or if it's something that you're interested in watching, feel free to let me know. But that's everything I have for this particular video. And yeah, if you guys have other ways that you plan out your budget using your Happy Planner, feel free to leave me all of your tips and tricks down below. I would love to see your systems and check them out. So yeah, that's everything I have. If you are new here, don't forget to hit that red subscribe button down below. I would love to have you with us. If you are one of my current subscribers, thank you so much for being here. I think the last time I checked, we are now over like 8,800 BAM fam members. And like, that is crazy to me. I cannot believe there are 8,800 of you guys that watch me and follow my channel and are just so supportive and amazing. Like, I never thought that I would be here. So genuinely, thank you so much. You guys all mean the world to me. And if it wasn't for you, this channel would not exist. So you guys are the best, and thanks for coming back every single time. If you would like to follow me on other social media, all of my other social links are down below: Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And I have been posting on those, so there is new content over there if you want to check those out. And by the way, you guys, have fun today.